The presence of a weak masculine and toxic masculinity in modern society is a complex issue rooted in historical, cultural, physiological, and systematic factors. So, what are the causes? Why is that so? Traits like leadership, protection, strength, emotional resilience, and assertiveness have often been misrepresented as oppressive or dominant, leading men to suppress their natural, healthy masculinity. Societal shifts can sometimes blur the distinction between healthy masculinity and toxic behaviors, causing confusion around how to express masculine energy. The historical misuse of masculine power through patriarchy has led to generational wounds where power was equated with control and dominance rather than wisdom and guidance. This distorted version of masculinity has resulted in either hyper-aggression, that is a toxic masculinity, or passive, disconnected masculine energy, that is a weak masculine. And also the lack of emotionally available grounded male role models has left many men without a clear positive example of balanced masculinity. Fathers, mentors, and community leaders who embody emotional intelligence and strength have become rarer. Many societies have conditioned men to suppress emotions like vulnerability, grief, and empathy, labeling them as weak. This emotional repression leads to disconnection from authentic self-expression and personal power. The weakening of the divine masculine archetype is linked to disconnection from spiritual values like integrity, wisdom, and service. Without a connection to higher principles, masculinity can become either overly ego-driven or completely subdued. Educational systems often fail to promote emotional intelligence and personal empowerment for boys. Media can perpetuate stereotypes, showing men either as aggressive, conquerors, or emotionally disconnected. So what are the other manifestations of toxic masculinity? Control and domination, using power to control others instead of inspiring and protecting. Emotional repression, inability to express emotion or vulnerability leading to rage or numbness, and also viewing life as a battle rather than a space for collaboration and creation. And also rejecting support or collaboration leading to isolation, that is hyper-independence. Healing the masculine isn't about diminishing its power, but restoring its sacred strength, wisdom, and emotional depth. By fostering healthy masculine energy, we can create a more balanced society where both masculine and feminine energies uplift and empower each other. So a man with low masculine energy may lack drive and direction in life. And aspects of weak feminine energy can also be observed in modern society, though it manifests differently than the weak masculine. Just like the distortion of masculine energy, feminine energy has been suppressed, misunderstood, or misdirected in many ways. So what are the signs of weak feminine energy? Over-dependency, relying heavily on external validation, approval, or emotional support instead of inner strength. Difficulty setting and maintaining healthy boundaries, leading to people-pleasing, self-sacrifice, and emotional exhaustion. Also, disconnection from intuitive wisdom, creativity, and emotional intelligence. The deep, nurturing, and mystical aspects of the feminine have been dismissed as soft or impractical. When wounded, feminine energy can become passive-aggressive, using guilt, emotional withdrawal, or indirect control instead of clear communication. Also, oversensitivity and victimhood, perpetuating a mindset where personal power is relinquished, leading to chronic feelings of helplessness. So, throughout history, feminine wisdom has been devalued or suppressed. Women were often silenced, their roles reduced to caregivers rather than leaders or co-creators. Feminine traits like emotional depth, empathy, and vulnerability have been labeled as weaknesses rather than strength. Also, patriarchal conditioning, a system that historically emphasized control, logic, and dominance over receptivity, intuition, and collaboration. Women were conditioned to either submit entirely or fight for empowerment by rejecting their feminine essence and adopting traits, masculine traits instead. And moving on to the generational trauma, passed down patterns where women were told to stay small, avoid conflict, or remain silent to avoid societal rejection or harm. Mother wounds and ancestral patterns can perpetuate emotional suppression and feelings of unworthiness. So, a society dominated by distorted masculine energy often diminishes the value of emotional intelligence, nurturing, and collaboration. The rise of toxic feminism in some cases has also promoted rejection of the feminine essence instead of empowering it. So the difference between weak and sacred feminine energy. The weak feminine, they seek external validation. There is lack of boundaries and embracing your personal power. Also overly passive or manipulative. Compared to the sacred divine feminine who stand in emotional strength and vulnerability, they are not afraid to show their vulnerability. They also embody intuition, wisdom, and compassion, as well as balances receptivity with assertiveness. So, how to heal and empower the feminine energy? It's time to embrace practices that strengthen inner knowing, like meditation, journaling, energy healing, and nature connection. Trust your inner guidance as a source of wisdom rather than seeking constant external answers. Also, it's time to address mother wounds, generational trauma, and beliefs around self-worth. And why not release limiting beliefs that equate softness with weakness? Also learn to express emotions fully and healthily without repression or overreaction. It's time to embrace vulnerability as strength, not as a weakness, and the ability to say no without guilt. Feminine leadership is collaborative, nurturing, and heart-centered, encouraging more women to lead from their authentic power without needing to embody masculine dominance. To empower the masculine energy, let's promote awareness around the difference between healthy masculinity and toxic patterns. Also, it's important to encourage emotional literacy in schools and communities. Also, encourage men to explore and heal generational wounds, father wounds, and unresolved trauma. Shadow work practices can help men reconnect with suppressed parts of themselves. So, highlight and celebrate men as well who embody integrity, emotional intelligence, and balanced strength. Also, a community that encourages mentorship programs where men support younger generations. Encourage spiritual practices that awaken the divine masculine, such as grounding meditations, breathworks, and rites of passages. Reconnecting with the archetypes of king, warrior, magician, and lover for balanced masculine energy. Healing the masculine requires balancing both energies. The feminine brings compassion, creativity, and flow, while the masculine provides structure, protection, and actions. So, promoting harmony rather than opposition between the two energies are important. So, welcome to my platform. I am Nandita, your spiritual life coach and energy healer, and I provide in-depth sessions in life coaching and energy healing sessions. Our higher tier mentoring program is designed for those ready to experience profound personal breakthroughs and lasting change. So if you are that committed clients ready to bring more balance in your life, ready to integrate NLP and healing into your life, then let's connect. When you are investing in yourself, you are energetically committing at a deeper level, creating a balance where both parties are fully engaged. So this is your conscious investment. I wait for you. Let's connect.